Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWE News and Rumors. I'm your host, Brandon Hodge. So this video right here is brought to you guys by SeatGeek. So if you guys are looking for tickets for any event in the entire world, just get them through SeatGeek. Just use my last name, code Hodge at checkout, and you actually get $20 off your tickets. Now this is for first time orders only, so if you used it before, just make a new account, new email, new phone number, and ladies and gentlemen, you can save $20 off any ticket for any event in the entire world just by using my last name at checkout on SeatGeek. Alright, the first news story of the day. So the first news story of the day is to be about WWE's first ever event, well I can't say first ever event, first ever premium live event, pay-per-view in France. Like this is actually, so we were talking about this in the rumor part of like a video, like I think it was like a month ago or something like that. And basically we said Backlash 2024. We were talking about having it in Paris, France. And they were starting about the WWE Paris and having the first ever premium live event in Paris. And like, oh, this is great, this is cool. So they've actually officially made an announcement today. They did not book Paris, but they booked like something just as good. So they're actually going to be in France. They're actually doing Backlash in France. So the rumors were right. Maybe they were pushing for Paris, but I don't know if they wanted to cough up the money because Paris is so freaking expensive. I don't know if they wanted to cough up the money for that and being like, we've never done a premium live event over here. We don't really know how it's going to do. Let's do it somewhere a little bit better, but it's still going to be in a big city. It's like on the other side of the country of France, and this is going to be really exciting. So Backlash 2024, May 4th, 2024, Backlash was going to be in France. WWE's very first premium live event, pay-per-view in France ever, and I cannot wait. Backlash France. They're doing a lot of shows overseas, if you guys don't know. It's just like crazy how they're expanding so much this year, and I have a feeling it has a lot to do with the TKA group, and they're just really trying to push the boundaries, but they're doing a lot of international pay-per-views next year. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so believe it or not, that was actually the only confirmed news story to talk to you guys about today. So ladies and gentlemen, it is now that time. Ladies and gentlemen, go and get your juice boxes out. Get your juice boxes ready, because ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to talk about some juicy rumors. Alright, so the first rumor of the day is going to be about Rey Mysterio. So Rey Mysterio, so if you guys don't know, obviously, he dropped the United States Championship. Logan Paul is the United States Champion now. I don't want to word it the way I was going to. I was going to say, why did this happen? It's not necessarily why it happened. Of course, they want Logan Paul to be the champion. He's going to be the champion nonetheless. But basically, Rey Mysterio is injured, if you guys do not know. Rey Mysterio is actually had knee surgery. So he had a torn meniscus. And of course, if you don't know what that is, it's like a part inside your knee that controls twisting and walking. And yeah, if you tear your meniscus, it's a little painful. It's very painful. And he had to have surgery on this. Now, Rey's actually not going to be out that long. I was expecting him to be out like a few months. It's actually not going to be. They're saying within 6 to 8 months, Rey Mysterio will be ready for a WWE return, ready to get back in there and go 619ing once again. So, yeah, that's actually really fast. 6 to 8 weeks. So, at most, he's going to be out like 2 months. But I was expecting like a really long time for some reason. I was expecting like 6 months or something. But no, literally, at most, 2 months. At the short end, maybe a little over a month. So, that's actually really good. Rey Mysterio return. It'll be happening kind of pretty soon. Alright, the next rumor is to do with WrestleMania 40. So this is more specifically about the shows that are going to be in the Wells Fargo Center. So these are like Wells Fargo Center shows, like you think of like the NXT, the Raw, the SmackDown, Hall of Fame ceremony, stuff like that. So they're actually laying this out a little bit differently than other WrestleMania week shows. So the WrestleMania week shows inside, the arena that's not the stadium, like the other shows, they're actually not going to have a stage. It's not going to have a stage. So it's going to be a layout like Backlash this past year when they did it in Puerto Rico, when there was no stage, it was just like a tunnel. They came through a tunnel, and basically that's what they're going to do for the Wells Fargo Center. And the reason for this is so they can actually fit more fans into the Wells Fargo Center, because there's always such a big demand for these shows, and they always have like the smaller arena because they know the stadium's overkill. The arena's kind of too small, so what do? They got to max out this arena, because normally when WWE has a stage, in the arena, it blocks out a good, 25% of the capacity of the arena. But if they don't have the stage, you fill the whole thing around. So they're going to do a tunnel so they can actually fill the whole thing up. And I feel like I'm over-explaining this. But yeah, WrestleMania week shows in the Wells Fargo Center, they're not going to have a stage. There's not going to be no big screen stage thing. It's going to be just a tunnel. Alright, the next rumor is going to be about none other than the Beast incarnate. This is going to be about Mr. Brock Lesnar. So Brock Lesnar's WWE return, when is it happening? He's been off TV for a little while. He's been off TV probably for the rest of the year. So this rumor is, when is Brock Lesnar returning? Is he going to be at Survivor Series? Is he going to be at Rumble? Is he going to be at Mania? Is he going to be at SummerSlam? Whatever the heck. I have your answer. So basically, he's not going to be at Survivor Series this year. They're saying they're keeping him off TV right before Rumble. So right before Rumble, he's going to be returning. Maybe a few weeks before, he's going to do something at Royal Rumble. He's going to be at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, but he's going to come back a few weeks before to kind of build up something, some kind of feud, or maybe announce the entry into the Rumble. But honestly, you don't need Brock in the Rumble unless Brock's winning the Rumble, which definitely probably not. So I don't think Lesnar's going to be in the Rumble. I think he'll return to start some kind of feud to keep things going and have like a high-profile match at the Rumble that's not the actual Rumble match. But yeah, Brock Lesnar returned. For Brock Lesnar fans, he'll be back actually a few weeks before the Royal Rumble to start some type of feud, I would say, for the Royal Rumble 2024 pay-per-view event. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually it. This is the final show, the final thing I'm going to talk to you guys about inside this episode of WWE News and Rumors. This is about none other than the Viper himself. This is about Randy Orton. So Randy Orton, let's talk about a WWE return for Randy Orton, because this thing's been rumored for a very, very long time. So basically, Randy Orton had a very severe back injury. I don't necessarily know if I want to call it an injury, because it wasn't like it was injured, like he was hurt, but it wasn't like, when people think injury, they're thinking like he had some kind of accident, something went wrong, and he hurt his back really bad. Not really. It's just from years of wrestling, his back was basically trashed, and yeah, he went in for like back surgery, and ever since then he's been recovering. And Orton hasn't been on TV. I don't really know. I know it's been way over a year. I don't know if it's approaching like the 2-year mark, but maybe like a year and a half at this point. Orton has been in the Performance Center, I guess, here in Orlando. I say here in Orlando because, of course, I live in Orlando. But basically, he's been in there like bumping, wrestling, getting ready for a return. Every so often we get an update. They're saying Orton's almost ready for a return. He's returning at this show or this show, and of course he never shows up. So this is actually going to be Survivor Series. So it looks like Orton is going to be returning at Survivor Series this year. And I really hate what I'm about to say. This rumor is saying that Randy Orton is returning to Survivor Series. He's the mystery partner that they've not announced yet. And Orton is actually going to be announced before the show. And why are they announcing Orton before the show? And I absolutely hate, absolutely hate when they do this, because one of the great things about wrestling is the surprises. Is you don't see something coming. It's a twist, a turn, it's a surprise, it's a pop, it's amazing. I just hate when they spoil that and they announce before the show, the day of the show, before, or like a few days before the show, that this giant wrestler that we have not seen in the ring or return in like a year or two or whatever, he's back and he's going to return tonight. I mean, it helps ticket sales, definitely. It helps sell out the entire arena, but the surprise isn't there. And I don't really like that. But basically, the reason they're doing this is because of the whole CM Punk thing. If you don't know, CM Punk, no longer under contract with the AEW, doesn't have a non-compete. Chicago is in his hometown. Survivor Series is in his hometown of Chicago. So, like, yeah, but Punk isn't going to be there. So how do they reduce the backlash? They have another return. It's going to be Orton. But if Orton comes out when they're expecting Punk, they might boo Orton. And to reduce them from booing Orton, we're going to announce Orton before so everyone knows what's happening, so it's not like a surprise and everyone doesn't get upset. So yeah, that's basically what they decided to do. And I do not like this. I mean, I would prefer Orton. Just hold Orton off. Don't have him at the show. Just have Orton return at the Royal Rumble. Like, there you go. That solves the problem. But I really don't know. And of course, they haven't announced Orton already, so we don't need to get too mad yet. But that's the rumor saying what they're doing. Orton is going to be returning at Survivor Series. I mean, I'd love to see Orton back. I'm happy to see Orton back, but I just don't want to see them ruin the surprise. That's what would make it great. That's the moment we've been waiting for, is just for his music to randomly hit when we're not expecting it. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. Those are rumors. Take them with a grain of salt. They could be true, they could not be true. We'll absolutely just have to wait and see. So there you guys have. That's actually new this episode of WWE News and Rumors. Let me know your thoughts on all these news stories and rumors in the comment section down below. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your one and only undisputed king of vlog style, Brandon Hodge, and I will see you guys in the next video.